Greetings, I am Pierre Sainville, a graduating business administration student from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Greetings, I am Ola Shalaisen, a graduating facilities management student from Orlando, Florida.
Greetings, I am Kumaria Powell, a graduating facilities management student from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hello, I am Brandy Massey, a graduating business administration student from Monticello, Florida, and we are Strategic Issue Solutions.
Our purpose for being here today is to assist Kroger into establishing priorities in order to execute strategic decisions and plan for overall success. So on today's agenda, we're going to get into the history and the background, the mission, vision, and value statements, the SWOT, and then we will go through some strategic decisions made for Kroger.
We wanted to begin with some background information with which you are already familiar with, starting with the fact that Kroger is one of the world's largest grocery retailers, and you all are headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, employing 343,000 employees, and you're under the direction of the current CEO, Mr. Rodney McMullen. In 2014, Kroger brought in $108.5 billion in sales, and Kroger's stores span into different states and different formats, such as the jewelry store and the convenience store format. Here we wanted to highlight the events in Kroger's history that we felt were the most significant, starting with the year that you all were founded in 1883. In 1901, Kroger became the first grocer to establish its own bakeries, as well as sell meat and groceries under the same roof. In 1972, Kroger became the first grocery retailer in America to test out the electronic scanner. In 1983, Kroger merged with Dillon Companies Incorporated, and recently in 2014, you all finalized your merger as leader.
So Kroger's mission statement is as follows. Our mission is to be a leader in the distribution and merchandising of food, pharmacy, health and personal care items, seasonal merchandise, and related products and services. Kroger's mission statement did not have all of the non-components, so here's our proposed mission statement, and you can take a second to read it. So Kroger's vision statement is as follows. Our mission is to be a leader in the distribution and merchandising of food, pharmacy, health and personal care items, seasonal merchandise, and related products and services. Kroger's mission and vision statement were both the same, so here's our proposed vision statement, and you can take a second to read it. So Kroger's values include honesty, integrity, respect, diversity, safety, and inclusion. So some of Kroger's internal strengths includes Kroger's corporate brands such as Private Label, Simple Truth Organic, Private Selection, PSST, and Kroger that are only available in Kroger and are the ultimate loyalty drivers, and that they closed the year out with strong share numbers. Another one of Kroger's internal strengths is Kroger's Q Vision, Faster Checkout Initiative, and also Kroger's market share price that is continuously increasing. The main one that I want to highlight on is Kroger's Q Vision, which helps build customer loyalty by respecting their time and also improving the checkout experience. It also helps maximize customer satisfaction to fight off the increased competition from those discounters such as Walmart, Target, and the dollar stores. Because of this faster checkout initiative, Kroger has seen an improvement of 42% on the speed of checkout, and they've also had a quick climb of their transactions and their sales as well. So some of the internal weaknesses of Kroger are that Kroger operations are domestic. Kroger has markets in 31 states, and also Kroger's company labor. The main one that I want to highlight on is Kroger's company label, which puts the company at a competitive disadvantage when it comes to their unionized status as compared to their competitors, which enjoy lower labor costs and also lower operating costs. So taking a look at the internal analysis, Kroger is actually performing below average when it comes to addressing their internal issues. A key issue for Kroger is that their debt increased from 2014 to 2015, which suggests that Kroger will be able to pay off their obligations if they became due at any time.
Some of the opportunities that we wanted to highlight is the private label brands, the increase in disposable income, and the advanced technology used at the point of sale. The opportunity that I wanted to expound on is the private label brands. Research shows that private label brands bring in more profits than their counterparts. And knowing this information, Kroger can use its marketing efforts to really focus in on those private label brands to bring in those customers. Some of the threats that we chose to highlight is the expanding or changing layout or format of the traditional supermarkets, the decrease in disposable income, and the increase in fast food outlets. The threat that I wanted to talk a little bit more about is the decrease in disposable income, because we have to realize that money is an economic variable which we have to decide carefully how we spend it, because the reality is that our needs and wants are going to always exceed how much money we actually have. So we're going to run into opportunity costs. And with that, when we don't have as much money to spend freely, then we want to go to those cheaper supermarkets to get the same products. So within our analysis of Kroger's external environment, we concluded that Kroger is performing above average at addressing its opportunities and threats in its industry, and that we believe that they should focus on the fact that e-commerce is popular among millennial shoppers, and that they should really be aware of the negative effects that their ununionized workforce has on the company.
Though Kroger has been doing quite well through their market shares and through their grocery store chains, Kroger has been facing several issues. And one particular issue that Kroger has been facing has been having a high substantial debt amount. And we feel like by Kroger reducing that debt, it'll give them the opportunity to improve their products and services. As well, it puts them in a position to acquire some of their competitors. The strategy we recommend for Kroger is market penetration, which is seeking to increase our market shares of our existing products and services in our present market. And with market penetration, we want to focus on our private label brand first, being that statistics show that consumers have been switching from higher end products to private label brand because private label brand products tend to be much cheaper and affordable. Also, we want to focus on Q-Vision, which is a service that Kroger is the only sole provider of. And with Q-Vision, we know that it's a system that we have that lowers our the issues that we have faced with checkout situations.
The rationale behind our strategy is simple. Kroger's debt totaled approximately $10 million for the year 2015. Well, we want to reduce their debt. If we do not reduce their debt, Kroger can become vulnerable to future economic downturns and as well as competitive pressure. Also, if they do not reduce their debt, what can happen is they will have to use a substantial amount of their cash flows to pay down their debt. The targets of our strategy, of course, is that we want to expose our customers to what our competitors do not have, as our private label brands and our Quest Vision. We also want to increase our revenue by 20%, decrease our debt by 15%, and increase our market share 2% yearly. Our implementation covers a one-year strategy. Where in the first and the second month, we'll be examining our marketing mix, which is our product, place, price, and promotion. The next few months, which will be the second through the third month, what we want to do is we want to meet with Kroger's marketing team to distinguish the demographics that we'll be targeting. The third month is our most crucial month, is where we'll be working with our marketing team to also roll out commercials, billboard ads, radio ads to expose our customers to our sales and our Quest Vision. Once again, stating what our competitors do not have. The last few months of our strategy, which is actually month 4 through 12, we will be sitting back and examining our strategy to see if it's a success and if we should carry it on to the next year. We want to watch our customer count, our sales numbers, and just to be sure that our strategy is successful. Our financial objectives, of course, is to increase our revenues by 20%, decrease our debt by 15%, and see our ROI over 20%.
We believe if Kroger increased their market share by 2% yearly, it will help them reach their goal quicker of getting their revenue down to 20%, up to 20%, and getting their debt down to 15%. Also, With Kroger, we want to have at least 90% customer satisfaction by 2016, and by having that, we know we'll help drive our sales up. Also, we want Kroger to focus on increasing their employee engagement because we want our employees to feel, we want Kroger employees to feel as if they're a part of the brand, they're importance to the brand, and they can grow with it. Kroger should as well develop employee appreciation program where they give their employees incentives which would help motivate them to work for the Kroger's brand, and by doing that it should lower the employee turnover rate. And Kroger should also implement surveys that focus on their customer services, because by doing that we'll know the problem that Kroger faces and where areas that they need to work on.
With every strategy, there are some risks that we have to take into account to avoid potential pitfalls. So here we listed the risks that we felt that you should definitely consider when implementing the recommended strategy. So ways to mitigate these risks, starting with the market being saturated, is just to make sure that through your marketing efforts that you're really distinguishing and differentiating yourself between like products, because there's so many that provide the same benefit. You just have to make sure you really focus in on what makes yours different, your product's different, and explain why consumers should buy your products. And with the customers that you may gain on the investment, you have to really do a cost-benefit analysis just to make sure that you're willing to take that risk, weigh how much it will cost to do the investment in the marketing, and how much you project that you will get from the new customers, and weigh that side by side. And lastly, with the legal issues being able to come about, you should just make sure that you're able to provide what you promised in your advertisements. Don't over-exaggerate the products and then you can't deliver on what you said you would do.
So for our financial projections, once again, it's a one-year strategy. What we did is our revenues did increase by 20%. And our strategy also follows a pattern of what we noticed, that our cost of goods sold accounted for about 79% of our revenues. Our selling and general administration accounted by 16% of our revenues, and our other expense accounted for 17% of our revenues, which we carried that pattern through our one-year strategy, and that gave us operating income over $4 million. For our ROI, what we did is we assumed that 5% of our revenue, the increase in our revenue, was directly a result of our strategy, and that gave us our return on investment. For our cost of investment, what we said was that 25% of our selling and general administrative expenses was directly as a result of our strategy. So we took 25% of that number, and that gave us our ROI of 25%, reaching our goal over 20% on ROI. And we are Strategic Issue Solutions, and we would like to thank you for your time.